Hello there, my friend. Welcome to the first video in my next digital organizing playlist all about digital note-taking. So if your digital notes are scattered across, or even your notes in general, sticky notes and notepads and paper notebooks and 18,225 different apps, because we all have a lot of apps, and you're not sure where to begin, do not worry, you are in the right place. Today we're going to dive into how notes fit into the bigger picture of the 4 essential elements that I've talked about in previous videos. 4 essential elements of organizing your digital life and setting up a really strong foundation to have more calm, more flow, more ease in your digital space and life. And if you missed my first video where I walk you through those 4 pillars, do not fret, my friend. Do not fear, because I will link it in the description box below. All right, and in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick recap here. So again, the 4 essential pillars of digital organizing. We've got email, calendar, tasks, and today's star, notes. So let's break this down. We are all familiar with the I was going to say intense, but really I meant to say immense, but it could be both, intense and immense, constant flood of information. We've got email coming in, right? Another, it could also be Slack messages or Teams messages or texts or phone calls, information that we consume. Right? Even all of the reminders from our brain at 2 a.m. Yikes. That information does not just hang out. It flows into the other pillars. A meeting is going to get added to your calendar. An idea will get captured, of course, in your notes, or a to-do item turns into tasks. But here is the thing about notes. They're not just random bits of information, right? They are essential connections between the other pillars. So when organized well, your notes can become a treasure trove. I just love that phrase. A treasure trove of information that you can act on. And here's how they interact with the other pillars. Pillars. Emails. So emails, meetings, these are often the birthplace of notes. Maybe you receive an email that sparks a new idea, or the email could be a meeting recap or just something that you want to remember. That would go straight to your notes for safekeeping and potentially processing later. For calendar, notes are helpful reminders for your calendar events. For instance, when I used to work with teammates and we would have a lot of stand-up meetings and stuff like that, I would put meeting notes in my calendar appointment so that I could just pull it up quickly or put links to Google Docs within that calendar appointment. And having them right next to your event, it just makes life easier. And then tasks. Notes, of course, are often holding the seeds of tasks, right? So brainstorming sessions, client feedback, just spontaneous thoughts that often need to be turned into actionable tasks. But they will stay buried in our notes if you don't actively review and process them. So here's your big takeaway for today. Notes are where you capture ideas and insights and plans, and they act as the foundation for everything else that happens in your digital life. And when you store notes without reviewing them regularly, or if they're scattered across the 18,000 different apps I had mentioned earlier, it can create chaos and you're never going to feel organized, right? However, when you organize your notes in sync with the 4 pillars, and there's a system set up with your email, your calendar, your tasks, your tasks, you will find that everything works together much more smoothly. So organizing your notes within, the full digital ecosystem of your digital life, that is how you create calm, clarity, and productivity. And let's be honest, that is the dream, right? And I'm back. Hello. All right, that is it for today. Just a quick synopsis, I think that word fits, of how digital note-taking fits within the 4 other pillars of digital organizing. And if you're like, hey, that sounds amazing, Caitlin, but I don't actually use a digital notebook, do not fret, do not fear, because in my next video, I'm going to be walking through why you should be using a digital note-taking app in 2025. So be on the lookout for the next video, and I look forward to seeing you there. And of course, as always, in the meantime, happy organizing.